Hey guys, so today I'm going to do finally an in-depth brow tutorial. So everything about how I do my brows and just tips for how you should do your brows, and it's gonna be a big fat video all about eyebrows. Now as you can see, these are my brows not filled in. If you've watched any of my tutorials, you will have seen that I don't have much brows. I don't have many brows. I do not have a mini brow. I don't have a lot of brows. I fill them in every day, and I usually fill them in pretty dang dramatically. It's gotten a little bit better because I've been a little more like trying to do like a natural brow. Anyways, we're rambling. Basically, I've been filling in my eyebrows since I was like 17, so you guys have been asking for an updated brow tutorial, and I've put up brow tutorials in the past, but it was very, I don't know. I'll put my last two down below if you guys want to see, but I'm going to do an updated brow tutorial plus tips and tricks on how to groom your brows and shape them and all that sort of stuff. So let's first just get into it. So the first thing you're going to need to do is figure out your brow shape and get them groomed, or groom them yourself. If you're like a 100% beginner with brows, I would definitely recommend going to a brow bar or a counter or spa, whoever you go to, find a good brow person and go get your brows done professionally at least one time, because then you kind of see like how a professional would shape your brows for your face and what kind of the best one suited, like what the best shape would be for your brows. And then usually if you get them just like professionally done that one time, you can kind of maintain them by plucking and trimming yourself. So if you're a total beginner, or if you just like aren't a beginner but you want, like I want to get my brows professionally done one time to see how they would do it, because it's always interesting to see how somebody would do something that you do to yourself every single day, you know what I mean? I would always recommend going to see a professional and seeing how they would do your brows. They can also give you some good tips and tricks, so that's a good thing. I have never personally gotten mine done because I have so little and they don't have much shape to them, that I have just kind of learned through practice. So if you want to just trim them or groom them yourself at home, you're gonna need a couple things. First, you're going to need a pair of tweezers. I highly recommend Tweezerman tweezers. I bought these forever ago and they have lasted me. I probably won't have to buy another pair of tweezers for a really long time. These just get the hairs without any fuss or trouble. Like, they just clip right onto the hairs and just pull them out, even like the little baby hairs. So love tweezers, love the Tweezerman tweezers. I've heard the Anastasia ones are great as well, but I've just had these for years, so these are my tweezers. Next, you're going to need little scissors, just little brow scissors. You can find little kits with all of this stuff in it, but just to trim those like long hairs, and I'll show you what I use all of these for in a second. And then this is optional, but I find these really handy. This is just a tiny little face razor, so it's just an itty bitty little guy. This is really nice for trimming those like tiny baby hairs that like the razor, or not the razor, that the tweezers just can't get. So for grooming purposes, obviously you're going to need that, and obviously you're going to need something to fill in your eyebrows with. When I first started off, I used the NYX eyebrow kit that looks really similar to the e.l.f. eyebrow kit. The e.l.f. eyebrow kit I've heard is fantastic too, and the way I fill in my eyebrows, you can fill them in with any type of product. So I use a pencil, but I obviously used to use a gel. I used to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I've used a gel liner, and then I've used a powder. So I've used a powder, a pencil, and a gel, and I've done the exact same like routine and like motions with every single product. They work the same, so just pick whatever, oh my gosh, just pick whatever your favorite brow product is and use that. Let's zoom you in and I'll show you how I groom my brows before I fill them in. Hopefully I don't go out of frame. I've never been this like up close and personal. It's insane. Okay, so my brows are actually pretty freshly groomed. I probably should have timed this video better, but that's okay. So what I will do is first I will use my tweezers and pluck any like big hairs right here, which again, they're pretty freshly groomed, but I just got some little guys. Ow. Ow. Hate this. Some little stragglers out here. So I just basically, anything that's like on my brow bone that's not where I want my brow to be, anything that's up below that line right there, I will pluck. When it comes to the scissors, what you're going to want to do, oh my gosh, I need two hands. So especially since I like flick my brows up in the front, you want to trim those hairs. So I like keeping them long out here, obviously because I don't have a lot, so I need to keep as much as I can. But right in the front, I do flick them up. If they come up above this line right here, then I'll just take those little scissors and cheep, 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 and trim them. This little razor dude, I would definitely not recommend if you are a beginner, just because it's really easy to shave off your eyebrow, and we don't want that. We want to keep as much eyebrow as possible. But what I will do is I will just slightly just kind of do one of these to get all the little hairs that are super hard to get otherwise that are right above that line, just to really, really clean up that line. So I'll just press it gently against my skin and kind of do one of these just to get all those little hairs. And sometimes I'll do that below, like right underneath here as well. Okay, so let's get into the main event. What the hell? I have no idea where my brow pencil is. What the hell? Found it. I use the Anastasia brow definer. I have mine in the shade Granite, and like I said in my favorites video that I mentioned this in, this does take a little bit of a learning curve, but so does filling in your brows. Oh, my camera, focus. Will you focus? Like I said in that video, this does have a learning curve, but so does filling in your eyebrows, so just practice makes perfect. Just keep practicing. Okay, so first I just take the little spoolie, and about the first half of my brow I will flick up, and then the last half I will kind of flick to the side and over. Then I'll just scroll this up a little bit, you can see. So this is a little triangle tip. Are you gonna focus? So this is a little triangle tip. So I will take the thinnest, like the point of the triangle, so not the fat end, but the point of the triangle. I'll take that part, and I always start at the front of my brow, and I just start kind of underlining my brow. First, I underline that part, and then I just continue the line in a diagonal motion, just following my brow. Okay, next what I will do, again, I'll take the smaller end of the brow definer, and I will start doing little hair strokes. So once I get into like where my brows actually have hair, I just kind of fill them in, no rhyme or reason. But once I get to kind of the center of my brow, I will start doing little hair strokes. Why does it look so messy, like my foundation? Anyways, we'll clean that up. So I'll do a few little just random hair strokes, and then after that I'll go right on top of my brow and pretty much line the top. So we started on the bottom, filled in the center, filled in those little brow hairs, and then I will start lining the top, and then I will start to create arch. And I like doing the spoolie just in between to make it blend more, so there's not like as many harsh lines. So then I will just take it back and then draw my arch. So I like my arch to be like right here. I just fill in right there. So then I'll just fill it in. And then follow that line where my actual little brow hairs are. So I'll follow that line a little bit down and then connect. That actually drooped a little bit lower. Usually I like mine to go out like this. This one kind of droops down a little bit, but that's okay. My brows obviously aren't the same every single day, but that is generally how I fill in my eyebrows. I'll sometimes take a little bit of concealer to clean it up. So I'm just going to use this little Catrice concealer, and I'm just going to use that color just because it's closer to my skin tone. I don't want it to be super, super light, but I just have this like messy spot right here where it looks super gross, so I'm just going to do one of those right underneath as well. I usually use a smaller brush, but my smaller brush is dirty because I filmed a crazy tutorial last night. So I'll just clean it up a little bit. And there we go. One brow done. Let's move on to the other one. This one's a more awkward angle. There we go. So brush the front up and the last half back. Underline. Upward hair motions. Then line the top. Fill in the middle. Spoolie them through. I have a zit in my eyebrow always. And then start to create the arch. Then fill in the arch. And finish up with the tail. And there we go. So those are the completed brows. That is how I fill in my brows. So just keep in mind it takes a ton of practice. I cannot count how many times people have been like, well, I could never do that, or I try that, but it just looks awful. One, if you're filling in your eyebrows like this, it's gonna look weird if you don't do it every day. So of course, when you first start filling in your eyebrows, it's gonna look weird. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't know about this. This is really strange. It's gonna be strange at first, but if you think it looks good, go for it. If you don't think it looks good, don't go for it. Also, practice makes perfect. I will show you guys some pictures of my brows when I was in high school. Not good. I used to do like a very sharp, like where it literally came to a point on my arch. It looked really, really unnatural. And that's the other thing is, unless that's what you're going for, like one of my friends shaves off her eyebrows and she's like super punk, like alternative gothy looking, so she shaves off her eyebrows and like draws them on with like different colors and stuff, like go for it. You do you with brows. But if you're trying to go for like a natural, everyday, but still structured, fleek brow, go with your natural shape because it will look a lot more natural and it'll just look better. A lot of the time, if you stick with your natural shape, it'll look a lot better because the natural shape usually is the shape that flatters your face the most. So just stick to your natural shape, practice a lot, and that's pretty much it. So that is all that I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed this brow tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what other tutorials you guys would like to see in the future, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!